Hello guys, welcome back to Pwn TV. Today I'm going to be making a different kind of video. A dear friend of mine, a guy who was like a brother to me, passed away. The death surrounding what actually happened to him is circumstantial, to say the least. I have a friend here who's been friends with me and my friend who is now deceased for upwards of a decade. And you can see that apparently she brought the news to my attention that Eric had passed away today or yesterday. And apparently it was suicide, which I guess isn't unrealistic given Eric, but you know, Eric was a diehard Christian and he has been dealing with depression his entire life and never showed any signs of suicidal tendencies or thoughts or actions. But you know, recently he looked like he was having a good experience with life, which I guess is a red flag. But you know, when that sort of thing happens, we don't really think so much of it. So let's go ahead and look at my history with Eric on Facebook. Get that out of the way really quick. I want you guys to see how long I've known this guy and how much of a friend he's been to me. So we became friends on Facebook in 2011 when I basically moved away from Indiana, which is where he's from. He moved to Oklahoma recently. Okay, so we became friends on Facebook. After having been friends and gone to school together, we grew up together and went to high school together. We went to college together. He was friends with everyone in my family. We were really good friends, and then we just went our separate ways. For over a decade now, we've been going our separate ways. And I guess I outlived this guy. I guess he gave up on something along the way, made him give up on everything, and that's very unfortunate because this was a fantastic human being. And I miss him. I really do. He owes me a hug. That goes without saying. I'm gonna get my hug from Eric one day. That is going to happen. So we don't talk all the time on Facebook, but you can see every single year we've had conversations. Every single year, okay? And he's a great guy, asking me about Florida all the time. I guess I should have asked him more about Oklahoma and Indiana, but I didn't. I've been quite busy with my own life. Okay? Talking about some church choirs. Like, this is not the conversation of someone who is suicidal here, guys. And this was 7 years ago these conversations took place. Alright, so there's some drama that I'm just gonna skip through. I don't know exactly what's going on, but that was like half a decade ago, so that's probably not got any bearing on what happened this week with Eric. Okay. Some funny comments. I'm being called a Negro. He's a funny guy. He's not racist. He has a lot of black friends. Very nice redneck person right here. Yeah, my friend was over when he said "Sup, Negro," and that was a comment for that day. I remember that. That was good times. Yeah. Yep, I know Eric's not racist. I definitely do know that. Life's great, Eric. Florida's great. I wish you came down here. I really do. Eric never made it to Florida, as far as I know. He wanted to, but he didn't make it. He misses me. He's missed me for years. I want him to move to Florida so bad. It would have been so good for him. Hurricanes aren't a problem, guys. We're warriors. Spartan warriors. Eric and I would have conquered all the hurricanes in Florida. No problem. Okay. And my last comment was this morning. Well, this afternoon. Just now, in fact, where I said, "Rumor has it you're dead. I was just talking to you. What's up?" And then I checked his channel, And he actually is dead. So I'll see him later, I guess. So let's look at something that I talked with Eric about the other day. Eric had on his page a picture of him on a slide in a neighborhood park, a children's park. He was on a slide with a skeleton, much like the skeleton that you see here, okay? So I thought he was making a meme out of this, and I still do. I really don't know what that's all about, but I thought it was funny that he went shopping with a skeleton, and he went down a slide with a skeleton, and he was swinging with the skeleton. So I went to my local guild in real life, and I went to the dungeon where they have skeleton props, and I said, look, should I get her number for you, Eric? I'm just assuming the gender of the skeleton. I'm sorry, skeleton. I didn't mean it. Okay? But, you know, that's just a meme at this point. It's a joke. I love Eric, and he loves things like this. And so he laughed at it. So did some of my other friends, right? He said, yeah, maybe you could get her number if I lose this one. Because, again, this happened the same day that he posted those other pictures of his little skeleton that he had, right? So I posted a cool skeleton as well, because we're bros like that, right? So if he ever loses that skeleton, I've got him covered. I have a skeleton. She's right here, okay? And then I replied to that 3 days ago. I said, hey, look, she has a sister. Because this is funny, guys. The dungeon had all sorts of skeleton props in it, okay? Eric thought it was hilarious, okay? Everybody thought this was hilarious. And then, you know, just only a day or two after that, Eric loses his life. So I'm pretty confident that they have nothing in common, but I just wanted all of my friends to know what has been happening with me and Eric on Facebook this week. And I'm not one to really cry at death so much as I am when I get emotional at like really intense movie scenes, like really nice, pleasant movie scenes, like, oh, they finally got reunited at the end of the movie and they're hugging and embracing and crying at each other. That's the stuff that makes me cry. I almost cried making this video, but I'm very desensitized towards death, so I didn't shed very many tears here. I'm sure a lot of my family and friends will for Eric because he was a great guy. And there has been times in the past when we grew up that we would sit and watch movies together, and I would cry. I would cry with Eric watching some movies. We did do that. We shed tears for each other when we were enjoying life and everything that it had to offer, and we shed tears for each other then. So there's really no reason for us to shed tears now. But one day, in the distant future, I'm going to meet up with this guy on the other side, and I'm going to shed all the tears that I couldn't shed today. Eric, I love you, and you're going to be missed. I'll see you again, brother.